guys, so today we're going to be doing a sort of story time video where we sort of go through old memories that we've had together and laugh about how most of them embarrass me, Mr. James. But yeah, we'll just get started because there's like 14 stories and they're going to take like a minute each. It's just going to be so long and
reminiscent
and
nostalgic. First story we've got is Science Club cheese making. So we were in after school science club on a lovely Thursday afternoon.
Not as nerdy as it sounds.
It's
just mess. It's not proper.
It's just piss about with cheese.
It's experiments. It's basically just like proper experiments, as I said.
So, and one of the teachers who runs it,
Mr. Small,
Emily seems to have quite a liking to.
Oh, you did too. We
Who
both
doesn't?
did. He was lovely.
And we were making cheese.
Yeah.
Instead of the proper ingredients.
We had like acid powder you meant to have to make it split.
Yeah, we just sort of used lemon juice.
It was lemon juice.
And it tasted like lemony sick.
It was like the texture.
In the texture of Play-Doh.
But that's not the worst part.
That's not the
story.
worst. The worst part is
there's Mr. James. Do you want to explain?
Mr. James.
You explain who Mr. James is.
Emily has a teacher fetish.
That's a bit far.
Is it?
No.
Mr. James, Mr. Walker. Is there anyone else?
Yes. Mr. Theo.
No, I mean the teachers that walked past and came in.
What's his name? Mr. Small.
Mr. Small. Miss Layfield thinks, oh,
Yeah.
come and see what we're doing.
Because you were taking a picture like, oh look, Emily, it's your boyfriend.
Oh, look, come in, let's watch us make cheese.
And I was hiding behind the desk. I was like, no, I've just got to find an elastic band. And just hid behind the desk for 5 minutes before they left. And I was just so embarrassed. I haven't been so embarrassed in my life.
Second story, we went to the cinema to see, what film was it? Was it in...
It wasn't Insidious. It was Sinister.
Went to the cinema to see
Which was a 15.
Sinister, which was a 15.
We must have been 14 at the time. That's how, yeah.
And Ellie was 15 in 2 weeks.
It must have just been at the end of November because my friend's birthday's the 12th of December, so that must have been like the end of November, start of December. And this woman at the till, she was like, oh, are you 15? And she was obviously like not going to check for ID, like she was obviously laid back. And she just wanted us to say yeah. And Ellie goes, oh, I'm 15 in 2 weeks. And we were looking at her.
Under the pressure.
We were all just looking at her like, what
I'm
the
gonna
fuck?
fucking stab you.
And she goes, pardon? Like as if to say, if you just say I'm 15, you're going to go in, I mean, you'll be fine with it.
It's like, if you just shut up, we'll see the film.
And Ellie went, I'm 15 in 2 weeks, isn't that good enough? And we're just like, and I actually said, well, I'm 15, she's 15, Maddie's 15. I was going to leave Ellie outside, but we weren't allowed.
But there is a good twist to this
Plot
story.
twist.
I said, well, you know, why don't we go see Perks of Being a Wallflower?
It looked, admittedly, I was like, maybe not.
Yeah, the trailer didn't first grab me, but I just thought Emma Watson, yeah, cute,
Logan
high school.
Lerman. It's high school, like, we're there, might as well see something.
Yeah.
By the end of it, were all of us crying?
I didn't cry, everyone else cried.
No, I saw you with a tear on your cheek, don't lie to me.
I looked sad.
You were sad?
No tears were shed that day.
But the three of us were crying and you were like, it was emotional.
Yeah.
So maybe the most embarrassing story of me and the teacher that I like. I was staying at Mia's, who lives in Stansted, who's a bit further away from me. And we went to Tesco's one night, so there was no food, was there, or something like that? Like we wanted to go and get some snacks or something like that. And we had to walk there. And just as we were going past, it was like a pub or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This car was outside. And because I just know what his car's like, I walk past it every day, I was like, that's Mr. James's car, like I know that's his. And Mia was like, oh yeah, get on the bonnet and like and wait for him to come back and proclaim his love for him and stuff. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that, obviously. So we went off to Tesco's, and Mia basically said, like, if it's still there when you get back, you've got to like lay on it and I'll take a picture of you. So we come back and it's still there. And I start like getting on the car, and Mia goes to take a picture of me and I've got like, my leg up on the car. And then like, you know when a car unlocks, you see the lights flash? My stomach just dropped, and I was just like...
And he walks over.
And he's just standing by the car looking at me, and Mia goes, hi sir! And Mr. James goes, hi Emily. I was like...
I got blank.
I was like...
Lunchtime. In the art rooms.
Art rooms is where we hang at lunch.
Yeah.
Some cool teachers, some hot teachers.
Oh!
But one of the teachers got a year 7 form, And because Mia's boyfriend wasn't there, we were messing about and we were like listening to the Rocky Horror soundtrack and Grace and stuff, and just sort of had it out loud, and we were just like dancing around. And next thing we know, the whole form, would you say?
Yeah, like he's got a year 7 form.
So they're young.
Yeah, like they're like
11.
11, sort of gathering around, and we're like jumping on the tables, throwing ourselves around, like getting into musical mode. I think that's a Grease song as well, wasn't it? It's like, you're the one I don't.
And they were just like clapping along, and it was amazing. So last year, was it last year?
Yes.
Last year, we went on a school trip to see the Women in Black in Theatre, because we were doing it for our exam. And like, the whole story there was great. On the way there, me and you sat next to each other. And we were listening to music, and this guy called Tom, who like, he was just dicking about, and it was just really fun. And then we got there, and we sat down. It was just me and Mia, and there was this guy in front of us. And I think the girl might have been like making a move on him, like trying to.
He was hot.
He was hot. He was like hot, and she reenacted. She sort of like put her head on his shoulder, like that. Cause it was quite scary for him. She was sort of like that, and he just goes. Like brushes her off and then looks at her like and me just like laughing, but you've got to contain it because obviously they'd hear us. And also there's this bit where, because it's quite a jumpy one, we were sort of like, everyone was a bit jumpy and like the woman would like run out and it'd be really scary, but we were told that the woman was going to come up into the like upper circle, which is where we were, like, and she comes up behind you and stuff. So as it turned out, it was only the interval. We see like this curtain, and suddenly there's this flash of light as someone like comes like racing around it, and we thought, shit,
yeah, like, the woman's coming for us.
So we both went, ah! And it was just a lady with the ice cream for the interval, and we're like, ah! And we never like looked at us, and we were like,
ice cream, anyone?
So for my 15th birthday last year, we decided that I was just going to have a sleepover, but because my house isn't ridiculously big or anything, there wasn't enough room for the 4 of us to sleep somewhere, so we put up the washing line in the garden and then like sort of built like a tent sort of den thing. But before they got there, me and Mia would decide, like looking on WikiHow, weren't we, like how to make a den, which is embarrassing enough in
WikiHow
itself.
articles are always accurate.
And someone put in there like activities to do in the den. It's like, you know,
be alone.
Be alone. Like just below, listen to music and chat to friends. It was be alone. And then one of them was like, if you tell ghost stories, don't tell them so scary that your friends won't want to be around you anymore. But that's sort of, and then, I don't know.
That was just a running thing all night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just spoke about.
Oh, I'd quite like to be alone in the den tonight.
Yeah.
And then we did dares.
Oh no, it was like, make sure they don't think you're a ghost.
Yeah, make sure they don't think you're a ghost. Like, what the frick? And then there was loads of banter. I don't know if I should say that thing about Ellie, she might get a bit upset. But there was like loads of banter. And we did dares. What was your dare? Didn't you have to run up the road?
I had to run up this, I had to run down that road with no top on.
And I had to flash a car. And Ellie had to go caroling. Remember, this is in July. And she went to one of her friends' houses on the next road along. I was just like, and Maddie had to go and lick this old man's window. And it was like, but that was just one of them nights where like I'll never ever forget it. And then it started raining at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, and we wanted to get in at 5 a.m. to carry our stuff.
And we just like put all the CD player, food, anything, just like shoved it in the bottom of our sleeping bags, and just had to like waddle in. And like, we had to bring all the sheets in because Dad was like, make sure I don't get wet. So I had to bring like all the sheets in, like it's absolutely pissing down. And then we just had to like sleep in the living room.
The first Slender Man experience, it was me and Emily and Ellie. And Ellie lives in the middle of nowhere, like surrounded by fields, forest, sharp. There was no one at home. It was just us three,
it was just us three at home.
Just us three.
No, and she's got like 2 older brothers, so it was weird that there was no one at home.
And we were in this little room with the computer, all the lights off, just...
Yeah, because Ellie was like, let's turn the lights off, it would be more like atmospheric. And I was like...
And then we filmed it as well, didn't we? It was just a terrifying experience. And at one point, like, it's all silent and the dog starts scratching on the door and we're like... What? And I was so scared. I go, Ellie, hold me!
I wouldn't even look at the screen, like, I was proper like...
You were like sitting in the corner.
I refused to look at the screen. I wouldn't even play it, I wouldn't even look at the screen. I was like, why would I do that? Me and Mia have had our fair share of falling outs, haven't we? But during one time of us not talking, Mia went to a party up my road, and this was like the first time you texted me in months. You were like, I'm outside your house, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's his party, and I was texting her like, where is it? Like, I might come and just join you. Like, I'm just home alone. This is home alone. And she was like, oh, it's Jolene's party, blah blah. Come on. But then I hear like this banging on my door, and I'm not talking like knocking. I'm talking like smashing on the door, and I'm like, oh my, like, is someone trying to break in? Like, my dad's run to the door and opened it, and it's Mia, her boyfriend,
Hiding in shame.
and one of my other friends, Jay, standing outside my house, like pissed out of their minds. And Mia's like going, Tony, and like falling on him, and my dad's like, Emily, you've got to come and like get rid of your friends. Like, I'm watching telly and they're like drunk outside my house. And he says to Freddie, oh, that's a nice onesie you're wearing, because he was in a penguin onesie. Freddie goes, yeah, but I'm not really a penguin. Unzips it, he's just wearing like, I think he's just wearing a pair of jeans underneath. And it just like falls off him, and he's just standing there topless in the street, like wasted. And you were meant to be like Amy Winehouse or something, and you're like trying to hug me, and like I was like, do you need to fuck off, basically? Like, I'm not even talking to you at the moment. You're outside my house drunk, go away. We had sports day last July, and it was our last one, because in year 11, we don't do sports day, and you don't do it in sixth form.
Pretty sure we've already left by sports day.
Yeah, that's why we don't do it. But there's been an incident earlier that day what Amir's boyfriend was rumoured to have been with another girl, wasn't he, that morning? Which turned out to actually be true, didn't it?
Mm.
But you do break up with him. And how long were you in the toilets crying?
Wait, this is sports day, yeah? Over an hour with Maddie.
Yeah.
Maddie was sitting there talking to me, yeah.
Like, and that was when we first realised he was whatever. But I basically said, like, I saw you, didn't I? We were playing rounders, and I sat with you. I said, like, you need to listen to this song, like, it will help. Like, it's one of my favourite songs, like, it's really good when you're sad. And it was David Bowie's Rock and Roll Suicide. True. And I remember just putting it, just like, put this in your ears, turn it up like as loud as possible, and it, like, even I could hear it, and I was like playing rounders far away from you. And you were just sitting there like crying, like. And since then, that's been our sad song, isn't it?
It is
like
sad
when you found out Freddie had been with someone else. I made you listen to that again, didn't I?
And then when at Morgan's party when Aisha told us more,
and
then it just sort of brought it all back, and then
I made you listen
everyone was telling you not to come upset.
And yeah, everyone's like, oh no, don't go and play a sad song to her, like, that's not going to help her, it's going to make her even sadder. But do you know what I mean? When you know your best friend, it's like, fuck off, I think I know better than you do, thank you, get out of my way, I want to go upstairs. And when I did later play it to you, it made you better, didn't it?
Yes. I was at a sleepover.
Because I'm the best person ever, right?
At your house. And
I made you watch Rocky Horror.
She put on Rocky Horror, which they probably won't know what it is.
It's a brilliant film. Yeah. And it's about two people, their car breaks down, they go to this big house, and it turns out everyone there's an alien transvestite has sex with each other. Anyway.
And then, you know, people die, people get eaten, just loads of shit happens. Film ends. I look at Emily and say, but I don't get it. They didn't get to use the phone.
And it's like, people have died and they're being eaten, everyone's having sex, and it's like...
That was the one part of the storyline I genuinely didn't get.
Yeah, they're going to go back to their car and be like, well, I've still got a fat fucking tyre, haven't I?
Yeah.
Bullshit. It's just bullshit. Bullshit. So we went to Thorpe Park for your birthday, wasn't it? Your 15th?
Yep.
And there was this girl in the queue for Saw. I mean, we kept seeing her, didn't we?
Yep.
And she had her hood up. And she had her ears sticking out. And she had this lollipop thing. And she was going... And like really like deep throating this lollipop, and her tongues were blue, and she's like,
oh yeah, and at one point she put the lid on, she was like,
and it was like, so that might have been really, really boring for you. I think my hood's still up. So that might have been really, really boring for you, but like it was really fun for us, so.
Dilly gap.
And it'll be normal videos next week, I promise.
Minus Mia, that makes it normal. Bye.
Adios.
Monfort.
But that's fucking disgusting. Have you got any more gay words?
Gay, anal, lesbian sex, scissoring, vaginas. What's for gay words?
Oh.